Mr. Hemi and Matt Downer. Good to see you guys. D-Man Fitting back. Big Smog back. All righty. JJ MGTOW for life, period. I love it. A man going his own way is a man that is control of his life. Unauthorized stream rebel. Good to see Paul's Kebab, no waffles. What are the terms you date women on? The only terms are my terms. Simple as that. And they respect you when you tell them up front what you believe in. Trust me. Be yourself. Now, all feminist roads lead to box wine, cats, and Karenhood. It's as simple as that. When a woman puts her career ahead of everything, when she puts her you go girl ahead of everything, when she doesn't do the duties of what she should be doing, which is to help create more lives and create strong families, that leads to box wine, the wall comes quicker, cats, and Karenhood. They go nuts. Because deep down, they know they have more to do in life than what the world is telling them, what feminism is telling them. Feminism said they could do everything. They can't do everything. That's why daycare's around. They've told them that they could stay young and pretty if they have a career. They can't. The careers ruin them, especially if they're married and so forth. So feminist ideology has lied to them and puts them in Karenhood immediately. Rib Grunt's back. Good to see you. Hamster just ended his stream. I'll have to check that out later. JR's in the building. Matt Downer says, only man walks alone because a drifter needs no woman. Ooh, love it. Tell me why we need women outside of procreation, outside of intimacy. There's very few women that will be a companion to men today. 98% are not recommended. So we're living in this world where the future is apparently female, right? All the t-shirts and the posters say the future is female. But the future will be only female based on box wine, cat food, and Karenhood. It's as simple as that. As they get older, the wall comes quicker because their attitude is about, I don't need no man, which is negative, right? I don't need to be part of society. I can do my thing. I can pay my own bills. It doesn't matter if they can pay their own bills. Most gals that make their own money are massively in debt. I've known several of them that make great money and that spend 30% more than what they make. They can make $100,000, they spend $130,000. They can make $50,000, they spend $70,000. Doesn't matter how much money they make. They haven't learned. Milwaukee Packers is in the house. Good to see you. We don't need no woman. Big Schma says, what if a woman wants you? Well, depend on the situation. Why does she want you? You know, that's what you got to ask yourself. For what? How come it was lame? He's got some good stuff. Women are needy to know what you don't want in life. Go Shura. Well, again, 98% of women are not recommended. There's a 1 to 2% percentage I give. Now that's some folks, I think Father Saunders says he's a 95 or 90 to 95% of women are not recommended. So 5 to 10% of women are. There are decent women out there. They're very difficult to find. And if you do find them, they're still female at the end of the day. So they still have potential. However, if you got to this point in life, they probably were raised by a strong family, a strong father, and so forth. Feminism tells women that they can do everything. Feminism has proven it does not work. It does not maintain family structure. Again, we talked about this. 17% of nuclear families exist right now. 83% of all kids within family structures are from broken homes. We missed the memo, right? We didn't get the memo. They didn't get the memo. Feminism lost the memo. They burnt the memo. They want attention and validation. They never want you. Correct, JR. And that's what guys got to understand. Do you believe women hold a certain power over men? Yes, absolutely. Men today have jumped into the soy cereal. They've jumped into snowflake. They're scared to say what they think. They can't say no. Absolutely. They're scared of women. There's a huge percentage of men that are scared of women. And when you lose your fear of women, the confidence will go through the roof. Again, what do they bring to the table? Are they going to pay your bills? Are they going to scratch your back? Are they going to be intimate with you? Are they going to stand by you forever if you get sick, if you lose your job? The reality is 98% won't, right? Matthias is back. How many feminists does it take to change a light bulb? None. It's not the light bulb that needs changing. Oh, love it. Be a great bumper sticker. Do you think everything is black and white when it comes to male and female dynamics? No. No big smile. I give a very small percentage. I think men, for the most part, were pretty much similar in the way we think, what we want to create in life. Women are also very similar in how their emotional brains are. But nothing is, there's always an exclusion to every rule, an exception. Jacob's back from Denmark. Always a pleasure to catch your live stream. It feels like hanging out with a good friend that understands the poor too. You're appreciated. Well, thanks for being here, Jacob. You've been here a few times. I mean, it's even coming from Denmark. Those Danish women are hot women, but I'm assuming that they also are part of the KARENHOOD organization. It's not a neighborhood. It's a KARENHOOD. Remember that, guys. I am 30. All the women I met have higher body counts than me. And that's how it's going to be. My young men, friends of mine that are young, that are listening, that are 18 and over, do you understand where that woman has been? She is not your first. She is not the first that you will be with. She's been with multiple. This is what feminism said. They can go out and they can ride the carousel. Guess what it does? Multiple partners to women, they get the crazy eyes. You know, those eyes, there's nothing behind the eyes. That's what's happened. There's nothing there anymore. They've given their virginity away. Rib Grunt, they always bail. Father Saunders is back. Finally got to catch one of your live stream. Good to see you. The title is also correct. I caught your live stream the other night. I think your mom was on it. Sometimes I try to get on all you guys, but I was out of town in Texas, down in McAllen, Texas, doing some work last week. So I'll catch some more. Dak, how you doing, Dak? Dak's got some good stuff. Always watches his short little vids in them. You know what Dak does? He's got a channel that literally shows to the world what the delusional state of women are today. How would you hitch your wagons to any of that, right? Top Floor is in the house. Good to see Top Floor. Who else we got here? JR Women's mindset, fake it till you make it. Well, it's worked, right? BJ Fornash is back. Good to see BJ. I want some M&Ms to enjoy this live. Keep it up with good content. Well, that's what we're trying here. You guys all could participate. That's what we got. AKS is back. Join the group. Think, did you get your monkeypox jab yet? It's just another way to move forward with the agenda. John Boston, the legendary John Boston's in the house. Good to see John. John's run into a few he lives in a KARENHOOD with a bunch of boxed wine junkies and cat lovers. Crazy. Good to see John. Always wanted to see Texas. D-Man, Texas is all right. It was hot down there. I did go out to South. Well, I wanted to hit some of the areas down there, but it was I didn't have a lot of time. I had to do a big presentation to a bunch of Karens, if you think about it, women Karens. There was like 7 Karens. There was 2 Karens from my team and 7 Karens from their team and like 2 guys. It was definitely a Karen Palooza in the presentation, but it's going on my way. Modern women disgust me. Muslim women intrigue me now, says Mr. Blue Man World. Mr. Blue Man World, where are you from? Muslim women, there is something about that, but also think about that Muslim women are now, since they have the internet, you know, the internet's infiltrating every nook and cranny of every religion, every society, every culture. Would you mind talking about what you think issues were that led you to getting divorced? You grow apart. Accountability was issue, responsibility, not being able to be on the same page, parenting your kids, and so forth. I'll have to do a video on that. M&Ms are better than Skittles, right? Damn right. Sub out to Father Saunders' channel. Father Saunders and Dak have great stories of. We did a live stream with hearing their stories. Good content creators. Rad, I was out walking. I've seen 2 homeless women over the age 55 on the street. It's going to get worse. Nobody likes to see a homeless person, but yeah, I mean, what choices did people make that put them there? And there's some people that are on the street that they tried everything, but there's also others that chose different choices. And it's nobody likes to see homeless people, but I agree with that. It's going to get worse. Bob's out watering the garden only if they are peanut butter M&Ms. I like almond M&Ms. My mom loved peanut M&Ms growing up. Southwest is beautiful. I would agree. Heat stroke kills men. Best to avoid it. I do all right in the heat. But yeah, just got to learn how to stay cool and hydrate yourself. Have you heard any success stories with guys that found the right women? Very few. And the book is still being written if they make it. So AKS, Wine Cats, and Steely Dan's went up. Matt Downer says more like Karen Fair, except instead of Lilith Fair, except stupid. You can't fix stupid now, can you? Sub out to Absolute Knowledge Seekers. He's going to do streams. Jacob says all the guys raised in single mother households are feminized. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Good to have you. I think I'll get back in the game quick 3-minute today, and probably a few panels coming up. Sir Miles says Muslim women in UK are just better at hiding their true nature. Yeah, you know what? At the end of the day, even, I grew up in a very conservative family with the people we went to church with were conservative, and there was more shenanigans, promiscuities, and I would never have thought would have happened. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're Christian or not. Christian women are some of the biggest predators out there on men. How was the relationship between your mom and dad? It was tough, but they made it through. I think they love each other because they've gone through so much now. They're still together 53 years. Sugar cookie and peanut butter M&Ms. There you go. We're talking candy. Crispy M&Ms only found in Vegas now. Go Shura. I remember the crispy ones. I don't feel bad for homeless females. They panhandle, trick, and hustle and make better money than your average Joe. I'm sure that's true, JR. I'm sure that's true. I have to say, when menopause hits, it's all downhill for marriage and family selfishness and lack of concern for anyone but them ruins families. My ex blew. I agree. Mine went through perimenopause. Was the premenopause? Yeah, that was it. That was a shit show. I totally agree with that statement, John. Pedro Valentin is in the house. Good to have you guys. Bada Bing is back. Did your marriage follow Coach Greg Adams' marriage? Pretty much, yeah. Good reminder. Absolutely. If you guys haven't seen the marriage wheel for Coach Greg Adams, go check it out. George is back. Good to see George from the UK. Congrats on your parents still being together. Well, it wasn't easy. I know my parents didn't like each other for, probably 10 years that I can remember. It was also the 80s, a lot of stress. Interest rates were like 18 to 20%. Reagan was trying to fix everything that dipshit did before him. And yeah, it wasn't an easy time. But there was also no cell phones. There's no technology. I remember when CNN came out. Once the beta father gets beaten down and henpecked, it's not looking good for the children's fortitude. Correct. And that's usually what happens in marriage. The man is basically muzzled. Basically muzzled. Rad, growing up, we didn't have social media and mainstream media. We got together more with family every weekend. Yeah, and you read books. You went out and played. You built forts. You rode your bike. Man, everybody had a bicycle. We were riding bikes. That was your freedom of independence. Technology has done decent things, but I also think it's effed up society in ways that can never be reversed. Rad, I live in Dallas, but I'm from Torrance. You ever been to Torrance Beach? I've been to Torrance, but I don't think I've been to Torrance Beach. Dallas is cool. I went to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, the new one. That was pretty dope. At what age does menopause take effect? Well, Milwaukee Packers, mine started going through around 35, perimenopause, premenopause. Once that happens, it's over. And I think it gets speed up if the woman has kids. Menopause is the beginning of feminism, womanism. They don't need no man. I think Chris Everett was married to Jack Nicholson, or Jack, the golfer, and she divorced him and then blamed the divorce on her menopause. Go figure. Modern women don't see a problem with girls' nights out every weekend, having 4 to 5 best friends on standby and treating men like servants. What do modern women actually bring to the table? And that's what something people have to remember and ask, right? What do they bring to the table outside of the intimacy? And that intimacy is few and far between. D-Man50, sub out to Dax channel. George P., what do you think about fornication? I think, well, it depends on what you want. And it can turn into into a pregnancy. Absolutely. It could cause lots of things. I mean, it's very risky today's world. It's crazy going from someone you loved and sacrificed for to becoming a complete stranger you are indifferent to, says Father Saunders. I know that feeling like nobody's business. Yep. 3 kids with somebody, knew her for years, buried her father, and I don't even know anymore. My ex muscled me with the court system and had to fight all of the legal scumbags. Yeah, if you guys haven't heard John Boston's story, check out. We've done 2 live streams. We'll have to do another one. And how he took that court system. He went after her attorneys. Love it. Talk about resolve. We had a lot of no money fun. That's what we did. We went camping. I mean, nobody hardly flew anywhere unless you were rich. 80s, different world, guys. There's no community anymore. People are hateful and fearful of each other, and it's going to get worse and worse. I agree. Okay, boys today between 18 and 25 have the testosterone levels of 60-year-old men. Why? Video games. They're not out playing. They're bored. They're depressed. It's like technology has made them depressed. There's a competition with boys today that is never before seen in my lifetime, just because I didn't go through it. But the competition, the bullying, all that crap has got to just weigh heavy. I mean, anxiety medications are through the roof. Kids as young as 4 years old are being diagnosed with depression. Let this be a warning. Get out in nature. Play real video games. I remember the miserable middle-aged female professors when I went to college. Nasty old bags. I had a few of those. Do you think our purpose as a species is to procreate? Sure. But now it's too risky. I mean, we're at the ends. The next 10 years, that seems like a lifetime. We're going to see some huge issues. Jacob Jurdy, men on pause. That's basically it, brother. Jawara is back. Author of 8 books. Good to see you. Check out Jawara's stuff. Sex is a drug after all, driven by lust and blinded by social media queens. Yeah? Men are also, we're visual. Testosterone is a powerful drug. Can I get boxed women and cat wine for 500, Trebek? There you go. You can't go out with a girl and grab a soda nowadays. Well, they want more than that, George, and people got to understand that. Just don't give them anything. Rad, how was your hike? Anything you would like to share about your weekend? Went up quite a. We all got off on the wrong pass. We started 4 miles. We didn't make it to the top, almost to the top, but we were about 12 miles, 13 miles total. Started around 4:50 a.m., but we took the wrong trail. And it took an hour and a half and 4 miles. So I'm gonna redo it. But it was a beautiful hike, regardless. Still enjoyed it. Thanks for asking, D-Man. It's because PlayStation is a drug. Dopamine. I didn't want my kids having Xboxes because I knew what it would do. But the old ball and chain said my kids would be outcast if they didn't have Xboxes. Thankful to the creator for our brother Rad. Appreciate that comment, Jawara. Jawara is always he's on everyone's channel. Everybody knows Jawara. Get outside. The graphics are off the hook. There you go. Yeah, we don't need a controller to tell us or render a new environment. We just have to open our eyes. It's because they think PlayStation is a drug. Yep. Squats, chest, back, boost. You're absolutely right. Squats and deadlifts as well. Heavy Metal Thunder says, hey, everybody, been here a while, just watching. Good to have you. Where are you from? Have I asked you that? I used to be whelped like a wrist. Now it's self-preservation, peace, and survival. There's nothing better than peace, quiet, and freedom, guys. Freedom to do what you want. You don't have to try to fix anyone. And that's what I try to tell these guys. The relationships today are not what they were when I went through it. I don't even understand what they are today, with especially young guys. Sub out to D-Man's putting up Joar's channel. In Texas, I've actually found a lot of the conservative older women corporate frown on feminism. They understand how destructive they can be. And there's sure. I've worked with Matthew, a lot of women, smart women, MBAs that never got married, or they're married and they're divorced because they put their career first. Guys know what's going on. And they're miserable. And all they do, I'm telling you, this one gal, she spends all of her time, all of her weekends. I know when she's always working, like 15 hours a day. And what for what? And then she drinks wine, goes to bed, wakes up, does it again. Ages you really quick. Sad state of affairs, put down the phone and video games and have some no money fun. There are plenty of entertaining, enriching things to do in the real world. Pedro Valentin laying it down in Chinatown, 100%. Hiking, just walking for an hour. That'll clear your mind, guys. Chad in and out of deleted neighbor's house and enjoying his boat. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I saw that. Amazing. The deleted boyfriend, now she's out with the Chad enjoying the boat. Big smile, rad. We're all hooked on technology. I agree. My phone has no social media apps. I have my Yahoo email, my Gmail, and my YouTube. That's it. But I agree. You got to put the phone down sometimes. That was a great thing about the hike. I had no reception. I turned it off for literally 9 hours. I'm an exception to the game. I've been gaming my whole life, but I'm still very active outside pool sports work. I'm in a shape. Well, you know what? I'm not saying don't play video games, but just don't let video games rule your life, right? Go out and do things. It's okay to have a decompress for an hour here and there. Shit, I watch old concerts, right? Makeup is also on the rise. The oldies try to hang on to the youth somehow. Makeup, Botox, extensions. You know what I'm saying? Anything to look younger. Implants, butt implants. And it doesn't look good on these older ladies because they still got the turkey neck. Technology is a slippery slope to mental illness. 100% JR. Agree with that statement. Do you think relationships are a trap? They are turning into those today. They are turning into those. I think we have 2 sessions as of now. We'll have more if I imagine. You guys talking. Dax says marriage is a worse trap. It is a trap. Rad doesn't recommend marriage for 98% of them. I don't even recommend it at all. I mean, I'm not getting married, cohabitate, can't have kids. I'm done with that crap. Marry yourself. Reading for me is the greatest. Good for you. Reading's great too. Taking your eyes off the digital screen and getting back to paper and ink. There's power in that. Makeup has to be the biggest con job next to implants and labiaplasty. I saw a billboard for labiaplasty. I mean, it's getting that bad. I always tried, but I really enjoyed watching you guys play. Okay, you guys talked about some. Rad, I cannot believe the level of simps out there. Look at Ben and J-Lo. Yeah, you know, can't fix stupid. Rad, I love you, guy. You're the man. Swear you saved my life and gave me new direction and purpose. Blessings for you all. You know what? We're just paying it forward. Big John helped me through so much shit. And it's good to see guys that are excelling in life. Anything glitter melts the brain. What did J.R. Tolkien said? All that is gold is not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost. Some implant jobs look horrendous. Oh, yeah, go to Mexico, the beaches, and see some of the botched Brazilian butt lifts. Sending email, deleted neighbor's wife out of his boat with the 3 chads. Sad. Guys, it's like people go, would your ex mourn you if you died? No. No, they have very difficult times to feel. Hypnosis is a spreading disease. Well said, Dak. I am John. Saw the Thunderbirds fly Saturday. What a great air show. I saw the Thunderbirds, fly a couple weeks ago. You know, Thunderbirds in the air. What are the Blue Angels? John Boston's friends marrying the 300-pounder. I've seen her, and she is disgusting. You know, the 300-pounders when I went to high school were invisible, if that gives you any sense of where I came from. Hopefully Rad can save at least one life. Well, even guys on here, you know, everybody's helping each other. And that's why we come together. Bennifer married old J-Lo. I didn't really think it, you know, I don't know what the deal was. Jennifer Garner, she seemed like wanted a family. Who knows? I mean, people grow apart. I mean, that life can't be easy. Saw a single mom female with fillers in her lip looked infected. My ex gets fillers in the lips and I just stare. I don't say a thing. I'm just like, what the? She can tell. I'm just like, what the F is going on with you? Did you used to play video games in the 80s? The only ones I played were Excitebike, Atari, Pitfall. You guys remember Pitfall with Atari? That was my favorite. I remember playing Pong. My dad had the Pong. That was the very first video game. I used All Your Life saying like, well said, and 300 Trebek. You changed my life for the better. Gracias por estar aquí. It's always good to hear great things like that. Yeah, if you guys can check out the air show, they've got some great stunts, those Blue Angels and whatnot. What exactly is peace sleeve rejuvenation? I don't know. Apparently they tighten it up or they package it look better. Especially the kids, women that have kids, they get a lot of estrogen down in those areas. So it kind of, you know, those that haven't had kids, it's a very different experience just because of the estrogen. But I think that has something to do with it. And I think they just trim to make it look a little bit more youthful, is what I understand. Saw the Blue Angel dozen of time with my parents, my older brother, good memories. Absolutely, brother. Ben Affleck is a disgrace, a few children, and God knows how many sausages. I did like him in Gone Girl. And then what's the one where he was the accountant? I thought that was good. Do you think that Right Women is out there for you, Rad? I just take a day at a time. But you know what? It doesn't even matter if there is one for me or not. I mean, I'm living my life, right? If I fly my plane and whoever I invite on my plane for a specific amount of time or forever, I decide. Dak, the guy I know who met the plenty of well women, says it's free to meet women. I told him you can't afford free with these mastodons. It's a beached well. Peace sleeve rejuvenation. The walls get sucked in and tightened up. There you go. Pitfall and Excitebike. Oh, I loved Excitebike. That was my favorite. Jumping those. And Donkey Kong. I love playing Donkey Kong and Super Mario. I can save the princess on Super Mario Brothers. It's 7 levels. I think it's 21 levels total. I used to play it at when I went to college. People, Rad's down and he's in the arcade playing Super Mario because for a quarter I could save the princess. It was just like a mind eraser when I needed to relax from classes. I made it. Red Deer into house. Red Deer, Canada. You close to Dak. Thoughts on seeing older women? I got no problem with it as long as they look attractive. It's never free, John. You'll pay in the end. Damn right you will. You pay somehow. I know a 6-year-old that lost a lot of weight. Now she thinks she's a supermodel. Delusion for 300 Trebek and a side of boxed wine. David Smith, good to see you, brother, in the house. That's why I said that. He can't afford free. There's no such thing as free. Except air. Growing up next to the airport most of my life, when the fighters came into town, you can hear them miles away. We got the Air Force Base about 8 miles from here. Man, I'm hearing the F-14, F-18s? I don't know. They're everywhere. A few There's whales everywhere, and they're not necessarily in the ocean, if you know what I mean. Princesses should only stay in video games. I did save the princess, but she was also entitled as well. What was your favorite thing about the 90s? Ooh. God, what would be the 90s? 90s were weird because they had the gene code jeans. Remember that? I would say Weezer. Weezer came out of the 90s and Slaughter. Donkey Kong County. What about Donkey Kong Jr.? You're waiting for me to drop the old Trebek line. Defender and Tempest, my favorite, says Eddie A. I like Russian Attack and Centipede. And Joust. Did you guys ever play Joust? The princess was hanging Bowser the whole time. Who is the simp protecting the princess? That goddamn Bowser. I'm going to hang out in Todos Santos for a week in January. Completely so awesome, brother. I'm John. I'm in Todos Santos. Go to the hotel. There's a cool ice cream shop across. Walk around the streets. It's all artesian. There's not a lot to do except just chill. But that was cool. When I was in high school, there were no 300-pound women. Absolutely. There was one in my high school, invisible. Rad, there you go, guys. Meet Jacob. Well said. Go on a winery on the weekends when they do the tours. You'll see a bunch of wall smashed women. I listened to Coach today, Jawara, and I'm all caught up as of today. But I listened to him on 2-speed. Sub out to Lord Spawn's channel. Thank you, Dak, for putting it up. 90%. 90s, no carousel riders or Tinder. Yeah, it was a lot different. Not a lot of Karens at the time. But I got a Karen hood where I live. They're nuts. And guess most of them are divorced and single. Favorite of the 90s, the music hands down. There's some good, that was actually some good stuff. Smashing Pumpkins out of Chicago, but I like the first one. Born in 92, so I'm my favorite thing in the 90s. There you go, David Smith. 20 years younger than me. Almost everything about the 90s was my favorite thing. Almost great time, some of the best I've had. 90s had some good stuff. Zevis and Galaga or something like Galaga was cool, Matt. Galaga was cool. Then there was that knockoff Galaga. I can't remember the name of that. Women want tall men, but they're short. Women want rich men, but they are poor. No point in playing. Yeah, it's like, you know what? Again, what do they bring you? Are they going to pay your bills? Are they going to scratch your back, make you food? Are they going to put out when you want to be? Are they going to be a companion? Johara, I Hate Dogs channel. I haven't watched this channel for a while. It is pretty repetitive, though. My ex dyed her hair, and it's light brown, just looks bizarre. I said to her, what the hell happened to your hair? Oh, I could see John Boston saying that. That's funny. MAP, 90s grunge. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Saw Nirvana in 88. But yeah, Alice in Chains was great. The closest the Leafs got to winning Stanley Cup was in the 90s. I'm a big Blazer fan, and the Blazers went pretty far in 1990. In the 90s, we weren't afraid to explore different neighborhoods and just be kids getting dirty and cut up. Absolutely. When I was in high school, you wouldn't see a girl show her blanks, her boobies, not even her cleavage. That was different, man. Women covered up. Coach Greg Adams did a whole live stream about how thoughts came to be. Wall smash women. I love that phrase. Pantera is my favorite thing in the 90s. I don't doubt that, Matt. Correct. JR definitely a different era now. I think I saw every show the Pumpkins did in Chicago during the 90s. Isn't Throwing Muses out of Chicago too? Material Issue is great as well, but Jim Ellison, Material Issue, lead singer, killed himself over a lady too. Deleted himself because of a woman. We should all focus on being the best versions of ourselves. Absolutely. Rad, I like Galaxian and Missile Command was dope. Joust, yeah. Joust, Russian Attack was my favorite. Hardly anyone played it. You know? What's the story behind prostitution? You can see them on the side of the road. Man, prostitution is the oldest profession in the world. That's all you got to know. I still play a shitload of Allison on the jukebox. You play Nutshell. Best Allison Chain song ever is Wood. Best one. Lane Staley is perfection on that song. The 90s had the best hip hop and best R&B. Rad, I met this woman. We went out a few times. I met this woman and let her down easy. Then she bumps into someone that knows my sister, and she started asking, there you go. Because your attention. She's got her attention is on you. And you guess what? You let her down. You rejected her. Then they come right back. I do remember the single mom thing exploded in the early 90s. They do say that. George, good to see you, Brother Saunders. We'll catch your stream soon. Chouse was the coolest. New Law says men are responsible the day of conception and 9 months retro. Jeez. Well, why is that not surprising? Delusion for 300, Trebek. So here's the deal. Women have believed that womanism and feminism is going to be their saving grace, and they can do everything and be equal. There's no such thing as equality in the sense of men and women are extremely different in terms of our traits, in terms of our desires. And so they've been led to believe that they can do everything, and guess where they end up? The wall hits them quicker. They become bitter and angry, and they turn to box wine and cats, and most of them turn into Karens. I have relatives that are turned into Karens. Go to TJ Maxx, Bed Bath & Beyond on the weekends. Sure. Nothing better than a set of 6 tumblers on sale for $6.99 at Marshall's. Dovetail joint with Chicago bound that was underrated. Check them out. Rebel cool. Urge Overkill, aren't they from Chicago? I spent about $25 on Metal Slug arcade cabinet in the 90s. We used to get free tokens if we got A's and B's on our report cards. That's how far RAD goes back. Do you think things are this way in the States because of the high population? It's just how it's turned. It's gone so progressive. You know, the Skittles movement has a huge. They're the squeaky wheel. You can't say anything opposing them, or the whole world will come after you. Well, it's a shit show. Sit back, have some peanuts. The guy's lucky if he gets hypergamized. You know, hypergamy was a great thing for me because it got me to. I wouldn't be here without hypergamy or divorce. I wouldn't be in the life I have without that. Now, I do have regrets. You know, I didn't want my 3 kids growing up in a broken family. So, I appreciate it, Ian John. I must say, Rad, when I see a good-looking girl, it catches my attention. Sometimes I can't think clearly. You got to get out of the obsession. Got to get out of the obsession. Just acknowledge and move forward. Is this withdraw consent months after the acts? Who knows anymore what the laws are, Jawar? They're whacked. Programming and groupthink, women are more susceptible than most men, but there's plenty of both. It's all groupthink on their end. It's all groupthink. Man, my ex was all groupthink. Followed everyone except her husband. Women can't do anything. They're in a world of fantasy. They're just paper pushers. MAP, where are you from? I like Naked Ray Gun. Ooh, I remember those guys in the effigies. Back, Naked Ray Gun. My buddy was way into those guys. I think they had a skateboard deck that I bought. No baby girls have been named Karen since November 2019. It's going the way of the name Adolf. Ain't that the truth? Do you think the roast beef is a deal breaker? Not a fan of I'm not a fan of thickness. So this bull BS of being responsible at conception won't be abused at all. She gets a check for 9 months and whatever they can do to make the man pay. The guys, that's why there's a lot of risk dealing with women. Down in a hole, nutshell, rotten apples, man in a box, rooster, wood. Rain when I die, don't follow, river of deceit. What about voices and no decisions on the last 2? I like voices. I regret my lack of access to red pills before marriage to a 304, results oriented. Well, we all make mistakes, man. I made a mistake. Tons of, that's why we're here. You know, helping each other out. Where are you from? Got that right. Alice in Chains forever. Jerry Cantrell is a genius. Did Naked Ray Gun become? I don't know about that. Feminism ruined this whole country. It's the root cause of this whole mess. The man with no name. Absolutely, brother. It just destroyed the family. Strong societies have strong families. It's as simple as that. Weak societies have weak families or broken families. You got to bang a bunch of 10 out of 10 working girls. You never pedestalize or fall under the spell ever again. Don't worship and obsess over women. There's nothing to do with it. That's not good behavior. FBI friend from middle school. FBI friend removed from middle school for confronting the Skittles group speaking to his 12-year-old. Yeah, you're gonna get thrown behind bars if you speak out. I think that's where it's going. Women can be hypnotizing, can make you do what they want. It's all in their pocket. Yep. Although they don't hypnotize Rad no more. What do you think would be the perfect relationship with a woman? Separate houses, no marriage, no kids. She has to make all of her own money and make a decent amount of it. You come together and hang out. That would be my idea. Never live with them, never cohabitate, never marriage, don't have kids. Mad season, there you go. No excuses, grind, heaven beside you. Heaven beside you. Alice in Chains Unplugged was great too, before he died. Residing in Texas, salute from North Carolina. My brother lived in Pinehurst for, 10 years. Never let a woman have control over you. Never let another human physical being have control over you. That could be a boss, a family member, a sister, a brother, an uncle, a friend, especially a woman. You decide and you say no. Alice in Chains is testosterone-fueled grunge rock. Well said, brother. Anybody getting the screaming trees? Is it true that the fall of every civilization started with the pandering to women? I would agree. Yeah, I would say that would be number one. Sure. Woman has led to the majority of women working and staying single, and they think they're winning. All these women are renting these new apartments around here. Yeah, we all know how that's going to work out. This is a good. Mr. Hemi says to George, once you break the trance, you see through them all. Absolutely. Red pill is just a light shining down on the ultimate delusion. That's all it is. Facebook friend thrown off school property for confronting drag show assembly. And you're going to see that more and more. You can have videos all day long about the Skittles movement showing their new packages below the waist, but yet guys are trying to help each other and guys are getting canceled. You should hear Grind sometime. Is that the band Grind? A lot of YouTubers are doing Alice in Chains reaction vids now. It's cool to see a whole new generation discover them again. Down in a Hole was great too. Big Smile says, how is your relationship? My mom and I get along very well. My mom is an anti-feminist. I don't intend having kids. A lot of people out there say they are selfish. Could tell I'm better safe than sorry. Well, you just got to focus on your life, George. The only way to break the trance, unfortunately, is to sleep with women. Angler's in the house. Good to see Angler. Hope you're doing well, brother. I've caught you a couple times on a couple different streams. You're pretty well known in the community. Good morning. Good evening to the Emperor's back. Guys, check out the Emperor's channel, Chris Mitchell, and watch his pizzas. You got to you got to make a video on how to make that dough and all that stuff and what you make. And like what kind of pepperoni and stuff like that. Oh, those look good. Same here, Rad. My ex followed everyone except her husband. Now she regrets it. They always regret it. It's will they admit it or acknowledge it? Nirvana is greater than Alice in Chains. Well, they've got pros. They've got their own style on each. I only like one Alice in Chains song. That's all right. Not everyone has to like everything. My mother is a radical feminist, most miserable woman I ever. Well, that's the key. They're all feminine. They're Karens. They're box wine lovers. They love cats. Check out Angler's channel. Here's Chris Mitchell's channel, guys. Do we get anglers up? Mysterio from Winnipeg's in the house. I think modern day society understands what feminism is. Yeah. Guys, it doesn't take a degree in physics to really see what the market is right now. It's a shit show. The sexual marketplace value is a shit show. Women do not respect men anymore, and men are not respecting women anymore. You think it's going to change anytime soon? Ain't no World War III going to change that crap. Programming's already embedded. It's already in the software. No, Polska, I've not checked them out, but I'll check it out very soon and return and report. It's like once you see the workings of the machine and what makes it tick, you're no longer enamored by it. Exactly. Think about this. That woman that you're in love with that's gorgeous, remember, she takes her makeup off. She looks nothing like her makeup. And she also uses the toilet like we do. There's nothing special. Do you think women with pets are a red flag? The majority are, yes. I'm not a fan with women with pets, but there's an exception to every rule. Hey, Rad, YouTube isn't sending live notifications. North, South's in the house. Good to have you, brother. Typical. They're trying to censor. I realize no matter how much you invest in a woman, she dumps you the next moment. Well, it depends on what that investment is. You don't ever want to invest like that. They need to invest in you. Now it disgusts and revolts you. Well, Democrats think men can have babies. Apparently, women have penises and men have vaginas now. Is that not clown world? I Am John says, I've seen a lot of Karens lately. They're everywhere, man. Karen hunters. That's going to be a new channel eventually. The market definitely is a shit show. Oh, absolutely. 300-pound heffalumps thinking they're eights and deserve all the sixes. So every woman today, 98% believe that they are princesses. Guys going on in Nirvana and Alice in Chains. I met Kurt Cobain. Did you guys ever hear that story? He was a cool guy. I'll send you the link. All right, send me the link, brother. I'm in a blue state. Cannot believe any man today would vote Democrat. All these simps I know who suck with women voted. Of course. A man that votes Democratic liberal is a weak man. Prove me otherwise. A conservative man builds. A weak man blames. It's as simple as that. A liberal blames and deflects. What is Biden doing? He is blaming Putin for everything. The guy can't take accountability under his watch for the state of affairs of this nation. That is a weak man. Women are the biggest in human history. What's the average? 170 pounds, Joara? So many men are so unaware of all these red pills. Truth, it's frightening. Well, and then people say, guys are waking up, sure, but not to the extent that we think they are. And a lot of guys run back to the plantation. My sisters are very different. Well, they have some similarities, Mysterio, but my two younger sisters are just like my mom. They're dedicated to their husbands and never leave them. My other sister left her husband and divorced him. And she's still not married 10 years later. Star-Lord's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Feminism and the umbrellas that it is under is easy to see from a higher altitude. And all the red pill is just focusing on what the true state of reality versus fantasy. That's it. People try to define it. No, blue pill is fantasy. Blue pill is saying there is a princess that'll love me forever, that I'll never have to go to court. She's different. She's in the wall. A red pill says, AWOL. I see what I have. Now I navigate life accordingly. We don't hate. We understand. Nirvana's 1991 Halloween concert was one of their best. There you go, brother. How can we bring back the nuclear family if we can't? It would be very, very rare for nuclear families to exist now. I mean, the numbers are against it. Man in the Box, that's where my AIC. Man in the Box is good stuff. There's a channel called The Vault of Karen. Oh, I'll have to check that out. The Rooster is Going is a good song by Alice in Chains. Yep. Red Pill should have saved Cobain. Cobain had some simpy stuff in him, man. He was a defender of Skittles big time, and he was very vocal about it. Right? Although I do appreciate his music. I thought he was a cool guy when I met him. You know, he's definitely, he was bam. He had handlers in a certain way. Trump back in the White House ASAP. Oh, wouldn't that be great? I'm just reading a text from my boy. It's always great to have your son's text you. Biden handshakes imaginary people. He sure does. Poor guy. It needs to collapse before it can be rebuilt. I think the only way this rebuilds, I don't even think we can rebuild it. I mean, the programming is already there in the last 10 years. Are you going to pull a woman out of her social media, out of her phone? I know some women that do not use their phone. They're very rare. And that don't have all that bullshit social media. My mom is an anti-feminist too, Rad. She said these women today can't be married and can't have kids when all they do is be on. Oh yeah, my mom's the same way. Courtney Love was cheating on Cobain. Did you guys ever see that one documentary? I believe she had something to do with it. Destroy and rebuild. I feel you. I don't know. Rebuilding out of, I mean, you can rebuild, but they still have the programming. I think he suffered from a lot of depression. Who knows what happened? I sang Great Me at karaoke. The female butt gave me a free beer after. There you go, North-South. Female nature. Everyone has to do their research beyond what we hear from social media. I would agree. Stereo, she would never take me to court. AKS. You guys, no, guys, you don't want to be in court. Trust me and John Boston. Trust Dak. Trust Father Saunders. Trust the guys that have been through it. D-Man 50. Hemi. Everybody. 1992. Is that the first Lollapalooza? Perry Farrell's shindig. Hate locks one in the subject of their hatred. There you go. Well said. We just have to sit back and watch it destroy itself. It doesn't need any assistance from us. What are Skittles? It's the rainbow of flavors. Rainbow is the key word. Hi, Rad. I'm driving. I'm leaving the pilot now. Next stop, CSX to drop off container. Then I'm done for today. Good to see you, Mr. Sammy. He's out driving trucks, moving goods. Good to have you, brother. Cobain was a feminist. I would agree with that statement. 100%. Put your phone away, Rad. Yeah, I did put it away yesterday. Trump won't be back. I accept it. When my boys text, their dad responds, Trump won't be back. A new Republican will have to write. Yeah, I think it's going to be very difficult, even though I think he was the best thing for our society. Was he the perfect one? No, but he was the best thing we had, and he predicted everything. But I think DeSantis will get it. Rad, I sent you the pic of the woman I knew in high school who got divorced. For now, she's a dog mom with these very aggressive dogs. What the crap? I won't go near that one. Dogs are not children, people. They are not humans. They are canines. Right? We're glad Angler's doing well. When you wake up to the red pill, you learn that saying she's not yours. It's just your turn. When you level up to MGTOW, you learn the why in your girl and your turn is silent. There you go. As everyone says, you can't love them and understand them at the same time. Biden and Trump will not be the 2024 ticker. I don't think so. I think it'll be Newsom versus DeSantis. Do you feel sharpened out? Yes. I feel like I got a brand new opportunity. Soaked in bleach. That's it. That's it, brother. I think Rand Paul is too divisive. I like Rand Paul, but he's just too far on the one side. I think DeSantis is the better option. Spike's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Even if we try to fix things, which we can't do the 19th, they'll still blame us. Well, accountability, right, Bob? Courtney Love called the cops on Cobain several times for DV. I cannot see him hurting her. It's the other way around. The name of her band was Hole. That's right. Absolutely right. Looking to leave this insane liberal infested Cal. They say Utah is one of the safest states. It's all right. But we got a lot of libs here too. I appreciate your insight and everyone else in the chat. Well, good to have you here, brother. Polska says MGTOW is the way. Mysterio, I don't think he's that hard. I am John. Just say no to Bumble. Hinge, all that crap. It's the dog and peanut butter show. Be very careful. Can you imagine Elizabeth Warren running in 2024 and her slogan will be, she's the leader of the feminazi? That is who all these women we're talking about become. They are the Elizabeth Warren. They're all clones of her. They're angry. They look Karen. They drink boxed wine. They have cats, and they blame and deflect. They take no accountability. I think we should look at nature as an example, and families exist in nature. For example, a lion pride. Yeah. I think we're animals too, right? Lots of friends and coworkers and ex-classmates are getting divorced. You're going to see that a lot more. Rand Paul and Ron Johnson are trying to crush Fauci, to my knowledge. Got to respect that. Yeah, Fauci's an idiot. I hear something about Jared Polish, governor of Denver, running for. Yeah, isn't he Skittles? We'll have a quick smoke there, brother. Gerald Montana, good to see you. Agree Newsom versus DeSantis. California succeeds. I think that's the showdown, right? Friend of mine was the road manager for the Eddie Money band. He bought us beer in '87 up in Portland, Maine. Eddie Money. I like Eddie Money. Take me home tonight. I don't want to let you go. Eddie Money. Wait till shit hits the fan. Women will either become food or concubines. Guys, we haven't seen anything yet. Life is just be prepared. Get out of debt. Do the things you need to do to improve yourself. I do appreciate how Ron Paul went after Fauci. Ron Paul, I love Rand Paul. The problem with Rand Paul is he's too far on his side, which I love. I would love it, but you got to be a moderate now. Big Schma, do I think all relationships? I think all relations are have expiration dates. How about that? My ex-mother-in-law was at my kids' pickup drop-off yesterday and gave me an evil look. They are hateful people. No surprise. Blood is thicker than water, north-south. Mine's the same way. DeSantis would be my bet without thinking about it if I was voting in American politics. I am Canadian. Everyone hates Trudeau. Trudeau's a dipshit. I don't know AKS, but I'm sure she's on a ton. Dio. Ronnie James Dio for 300 Trebek. My memory of Nirvana is the bass player throwing up his bass and it comes down and hits him in the face. I remember that. Totally remember that. I do believe the radical progressive movement is dying before us. Biden, Pelosi, Waters, Warren. I agree. But we got a bunch of, what about the AOCs? They're even worse than the one chick out of Minnesota. Do I believe in destiny? I believe that whatever you think is true of you is true of you. I don't believe in destiny. I do believe choices turn into consequences. Mysterio Holy Diver. There you go. You guys, this has been a great show. I think that marriage is going to be lessened in the near future. I agree. Look, I do not recommend marriage, cohabitation, or having kids. If you're going to date someone, make sure they have the same amount of money and they can take care of their own. I'm not a monk. I run through life by navigating this world, by understanding what women are. I have a mother, I have 3 sisters, I have an ex-wife, I have a daughter, I work with women, I'm around women, and I choose how to deal with them. It's as simple as that. And everybody else can do that. You guys have been great. Appreciate everybody here. All the heavy hitter Republicans. This pastor was debauchery. There you go. Even Bill Maher thinks it's out of control. 100%. You guys have been great. Rebel against defeat. Chase excellence. Masculinity. Men first. Get out and see all these content creators we talked about. And get on some of these streams. Mark Levin last night. Never underestimate the capacity to cheat. I agree with that. My divorce recently final. Never again. Star-Lord, good for you. And thanks for all my wrenches being here. You guys be good. I'm out.